Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to 3-Day Weekend again. I am here with the Power Wheels troop car. We're going to go over behind the scenes on how it was made today. Okay. So first up is the body. When we first got it, it was just a black and white standard police Charger. So we stripped it all down, sanded it all down, and painted it up with, it's just spray paint, honestly. Some primer, and then the finish and some clear coat. Actually, I had to do it twice because something happened to the clear coat one time around. So we had to strip it all down, do it once more. And it's held up, how many years has it been? 6 years?
6 years.
6 years it's been around. It's held up okay. Things happen, you know, the kids have been around it and climbing on it, but the paint has held up pretty good. I would say of the body work that we did, my favorite part is the vinyl. We cut this out upstairs. This is reflective yellow vinyl, just like you would find on a real troop car. Matched the font to it. Printed out the seal of New York State, and that is vinyled over it. There's actually contact paper over top to keep it from peeling. Cut this all out custom and stuck it on there. We even did it all the way around the back. This is modeled after a real New York State Police Charger that I went over and took pictures of. I saw it sitting in their parking lot one day. You know, it wasn't suspicious at all.
No, not at all.
It's fine. State Police matched it there, and this is actually how their trim goes on the rear of that Charger anyway. And then put the license plate on there, significance 324. My dad's a retired state trooper, and that was his car number when he was doing that. And then the last thing really we did was the wheels. They were all chrome when we first got it, and we painted them all black except for the center to kind of look like on the original troop cars, the black with the chrome center cap. That's pretty much what they come in. So that's all we did on the body. It took a while, but it turned out pretty decent, and it held up pretty well considering all it's been through. Mm-hmm. Next came the lights. So actually when we first got the thing, when we tore it down, it didn't have any working lights at all except for 3 really dim LEDs, 3 there and 3 there on the top bar.
I think there was just 1 in each.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 in each segment, 3 and 3. Dim little LED bulbs. No headlights, no taillights, no other flashers at all. So obviously that's not how we do things here at 3-Day Weekend. So tore it all out, took the headlights out. We installed these LEDs to light up the actual headlights. We got the high beams, we got little turn signal bulbs, we got fog light bulbs. Did that on both sides. And then on the back, we ran the LED lights all the way around, just like you would find on an actual Charger. But the trick was, these lights flash when they have their actual lights going. So I had to install a relay that would make them flash when you had the lights on. They also keep flashing even if you turn the headlights off. So there's a couple of different modes, and I'll get into that in a minute. The same thing around in the front. Sorry, the headlights are on solid, but if I turn on the flash, they start to flash the high beams and fog lights. I know a real troop car usually doesn't have the fog lights, but we have them in this one because it's awesome, and why not? So that was tricky, and that's where you hear that relay in there clicking. That's what it's in charge of, is making those headlights. So they also still flash even if you turn the headlights off. Those are still going. And back on the solid, and there they are. Should we look at the control panel?
Sure.
You've seen the other lights on the back. So it's really, really simple. There's only 2 switches. We've got the headlights, and then we've got the flashing lights. But in order to start the flashing lights, you just have to hit this button. And now it's running. And then the other button is the siren.
Best feature.
Yes. It is a momentary push because this was driven by children. You don't give them a toggle for a siren.
It would just be on.
It would just always be on, right. So you give them a push button. And with them driving and everything, they tend not to hit it quite as much. So simple controls, but not simple wiring. let's look at the wiring. Let's start with the power first. So the power is under the seats. We've got 2 batteries. One is the drive battery, just the standard one that comes with it. And then it's got a dedicated battery over here, and that runs all of our electronics, all the lights and flashers and siren and everything is all off of this one battery. And it's just, there's a lot of wiring going on.
There's a lot going on. There's more up front.
More up front, yeah. And this has a charger wire that drops down, so I can just plug it in and recharge it from down there. You know, I don't have to take the seat in and out every time.
The factory charger for the actual car is still intact here.
Yep.
On this side.
So that's our power source. Now the actual electronics that run the whole system are in here. Now it's not pretty, but it works, and it doesn't matter what it looks like because it's inside of this, right? There was also a lot of trial and error because I was adding things and making it worse. So just ignore the fact that this fell off. Oh my gosh.
There it is.
I forget how much there is in here. So, a couple things going on. These are all of our switch boxes, the sequence for the flashing lights. And they're all preset and wired together. And these, when you hit the button, this is what's starting all the flashing. And then that runs over through, I used Cat 5 because they're just little LED lights, not a lot of draw. And it runs over to our bus bars. Bus bar there, and each pair on the bus bar is a different light sequence because each of these boxes have A and B out of them. So box 1, A, B, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, A, B. So 14 different flashing channels all hooked up to the lights. And some of them are in sequence, so when you turn on, let me turn on these from again. So when you turn these on, I wanted the red and blue obviously here to flash opposite of each other, and these reds and these blue to be the same time. So those are on a specific channel. Same with the flashers for the headlights and the taillights. This one is on red, opposite of that one being on blue, just kind of building the sequence. And then for the light bar, we tried to do a random thing. So these two go together, but all the other ones flash separate. And it kind of just makes for a random light bar appearance.
Try to make it look like a regular light bar.
It's actually getting a little low. And then for the rear chase light, that was an add-on feature, and that is this guy. And I forget what it's called. I'll look it up. Maybe I'll post a link in it. And it's just a little controller. You solder your stuff to it. Each one goes through the Cat 5 and goes out to run those lights. And you can actually change the sequence on it, but I just left it on it's like demo. It does all of the different sequences on a timer. And then there's our siren, which is just a car alarm, which I ran through a resistor to quiet it down and slow it down so that it sounds more like a siren. Main power harness, all the switches go into the power harness. Man, I forgot how many wires were in this thing.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah. So that's why I use Cat 5, because there's just so many different sequences. Every single light is on its own dedicated trigger all the way through. So let me show you the this one. Let me show you that light bar. That turned out really cool. The chase light. That was an add-on. I think everything else was done, and then I just added this to it. So these are all the regular cheapo LED bulbs, which I'll look up the link. I can put that in the description. And they're each wired individually, and the wire goes through this piece of aluminum that I cut down to the right size, drill a couple holes to mount it. So it's mounted right to the rear bumper, and you can actually see there's a Cat 5 there, and a Cat 5 there, running up, so it's actually divided in half, so each one is only doing half of it. And I think it turned out really cool. The reason these are all yellow is because, and these are white, they were originally all going to be yellow, but for whatever reason I didn't have enough yellow, and I put the white on the end. But then after looking at it,
Yeah,
I
that
thought,
turned out good.
that turned out really good. And each one of these, I had to take apart each one of these boxes and solder the wires in, because obviously you're not going to be able to push these buttons. So when you turn on the main power, it goes in and enables whichever sequence I wanted out of it. Oh, and I labeled them too, so I crossed them out. So that one's on sequence B, A, B, 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 A, A, just to mix them up a little bit. That was just to tell me. I should see if I have the picture of the wire schematic, which you could tell we were just doing by the seat of our pants because it's actually written on a piece of cardboard.
Hey, it worked.
But it worked, got the job done. So we're left with one question: why did you build it? And I built it because my son wanted to be a trooper for Halloween. A couple different Halloweens we had. And we were getting all the uniform and everything together, and I forget who said, oh, it would be cool if you built him a troop car, and then I thought, oh, I'll go get one of those police cars. And I don't know, the idea just kind of grew. We should make an actual legitimate New York State troop car.
So we did.
So we did. It took us like a month, right? Working on it, after work and on the weekends and stuff, but it turned out really, really good. The only thing I would do different, if I was going to do it again, if I had known how good it was going to turn out, I would have actually taken this up to the body shop and had it professionally painted. The paint looks good, it's the right color and everything, but it's chipping around the edges.
Yeah, some spots here, but it's.
It got him through the parade. He led several parades that year because the troop car was just so awesome. I think it was 2 years. He actually led a couple parades. With all his lights going and everything. It was really, really cool, really popular. Obviously, we won first place in the competition at the campground we ran.
That's almost a given.
Yeah, we had to win first place, but he looked good. His uniform was right on. Everything was really good, and the car is just amazing. So we built it 6 years ago. We used it as recently as 5 years ago. He doesn't even fit in the thing anymore. So now I'm going to switch it over from battery power to actual plug-in power and run a lead down for the switch. We're actually going to take it up to my dad's garage and put it on display up there because he really wants it and it's really cool. And that's how we did it. If you like projects like this, be sure to subscribe and come back because you never know when we're going to tackle something else like this again. So thanks for watching. 3-day weekend, and we'll see you next time.